I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better each day. Um, like I said yesterday, I'm gonna be good to go for Monday night.
When did you hurt him?
When the first game I heard him.
You hurt him in Tampa. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I heard the
When
first
the
game.
game with the injury?
There's a play in the fourth quarter where you kind of, I mean, it's towards the end of the game, but you did it.
Which one? Last game?
For the first game when you were
Yeah, when I touchdown, I heard him, but it was very manageable. And then last game, like it was just weird movements after that would just hurt it.
And they're bruised? What do they call it?
Uh,
Get some science name for us.
I think it's cracked, but yeah, but I think so. I didn't really get an image of it just because I didn't get an image of it, but
You got a flak jacket that you wearing or something under there?
yep, I took it out, but yeah, I'm wearing something.
But it doesn't, at your speed, being able to cut, it doesn't limit you from being able to do that.
I mean, yeah, obviously, if I didn't feel it at all, then I wouldn't be injured. So
So you do feel it.
yeah. But it's getting better every day, like I said, and I'll be ready.
You mentioned way back during training camp, you were talking about your injury in 19, like the third play of the Jets game, you got hit right on it. Was that similar on that? I think the last catch of this game, where you just took contact like right where you didn't want to.
No. I didn't even get. I don't think I got hit that play.
Really?
Like I said, it was just weird movements that kind of. Just hear something click and it's just hurt. Like
Just as a more general, just dealing with things over the course of the season. And I get you can't let that change your approach, but are you conscious of it? Of like, I'm trying to keep whatever's hurting me out of the line of fire.
I mean, because it depends on what you play for. Like me, I play to be the best. Like I want to be the best. And to be the best, you have to play all the games. You know what I'm saying? If you can, because you got to put up those numbers. So, I think you got guys who might play for different reasons and they don't mind missing games and stuff because they don't necessarily want to be the best. But
Is there a situation where if you keep playing with it, you'll get hit on it again? It'll never heal?
see, that's the thing about football. Like you play once a week, which is tremendous for us. Like the how much you can heal in 7 days is I guess like the healing process is great over that amount of time. And so like it's not like basketball where you can play today and have another game in 2 days. So if I hurt it in the game, you know what I mean? So I don't worry about like if I can hurt it again in the game because this is like, I can hurt it badly in the game, but I know I got 7 days to, you know what I'm saying, to heal.
It takes a few weeks to heal, regardless of what you're doing.
Yeah, but I don't need to be 100%. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can manage it. You know what I'm saying?
And just clarify, so you said you didn't get imaging, but did someone say it was cracked, or that's your best?
This is what the diagnosis. That's what the doc, just his professional opinion. Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't wear nothing in week 2. But yeah.
Balance being familiar. How do you balance being familiar with a divisional opponent versus them having, when they change coaching staff or change what they're doing with their scheme, asking the same guys to do different things?
Well, you said, how do I feel about it?
How do you balance it? Obviously, I mean, you know the players better than you might know what they do.
Yeah, it's interesting because they change if you know an opponent, but they change schemes. The players might be better in a different scheme than they are in like the scheme they're in now. You know what I mean? So you just watch film and you break it down that way. But I definitely do think like defensively, some players play a certain scheme better than they play another one. So that was a good question. Yeah.
Amari, how have you seen Kellen grow as a play caller over the last few years?
I mean, obviously he's gotten better as a play caller. I think experience has played a huge part in that. I mean, he's rolling. He's rolling right now. But I think even in his first year as a play caller, he did a tremendous job. Like Coach McCarthy said, he'll probably get a head coaching job pretty soon just because he's good at his job.
If someone was interviewing him for a head coach, why do you think he makes a good head coach?
Well, first of all, just the trend right now is like a trend in the league. They want these young guys because the game is always changing, you know. So just to keep up with the game changing, hire that young guy who has probably a better relationship with the players and stuff like that. But you know, just because he's capable, really.
What's your favorite play or scheme or something he's called for you?
I be trying to. Next time you interview Kellen, be like, like, man, I be asking him to put stuff in. I just be wanting the opportunity, just because I feel like, you know, I can just help the team, you know. But no, he calls a lot of good plays. My favorite really is any double move. Like any double move that's called, I want to be the person to run it. So, yeah.
Do you see the difference in play strength from CD? That was something that he really focused on this offseason, be it his blocking or his yards after catch.
Yeah, last game he did a tremendous job blocking. From the film I was watching, you know, I think, you know, we all just felt good out there. It was like the weather was great. And just from me watching film, he played with great play strength. He's gotten, you know, a little bit bigger. We got the same chef, so that's been an emphasis of his for sure.
Did you connect him with your chef? How did that go?
Nah, he was using them before me. Hoppy. I tasted some of his food when I was at Dak's house one time, and I was like, I gotta have this guy. Like, yeah, so that's how it went.
Our game planning week to week. The first week was super pass heavy. Last week run heavy. How helpful is that, or how challenging do you think that is on defense?
Oh, it's really challenging. Like I was in the game. During James was telling, because I know Derwin. We used to be playing Madden together, talking to each other on the headsets and stuff like that. But he was kind of confused. He was like, "Man, y'all running the heck out of that thing." And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Man, y'all did nothing but throw last week." So they didn't even know what we were gonna do. But we knew our game plan, and it's great because we're multidimensional. Like every team can't do that. Some teams have a specific identity, like they're a running team or they're a passing team. But you know, we got all the weapons to be both. So that's I can see how that can intimidate a defense.
You want as many opportunities in the passing game as you personally can get, but do you prefer to be a team with a strong identity or that can mix it up every week?
I prefer to be a team that can mix it up every week. I mean, it benefits me both ways. Like if we're throwing a lot, obviously I'll get more opportunity. But if we're running a lot, it's because we could be so successful at the running game. Like I was surprised San Diego didn't really like try to switch up, because that's what teams were doing. Like when I first got here, like they would if teams were like a too high team or something like that, we'd be running the ball so well that they'd have to switch up and put an extra guy down there, and then we'd have so much opportunity over the top. So it benefits me both ways. But really, what I'm concerned about is just winning. Like I don't really care about the opportunity. I only care about the opportunity. Like if we're losing and I feel like I can help us, you know what I mean, win. But as long as we're successful on offense, I'm good.
I know it's only been 3 games, but is that something that's been different in Kellen's meetings this year, where last year it was more like postseason? Is there any more game plan specific stuff in your game prep this year, do you think?
Yeah, from the 2 games that we've played, you know, we knew we were going to come out. Well, we didn't necessarily knew we were going to come out and throw 58 times on Tampa. But we knew we were going to come out and run the ball this game just because of the way that they played. And I think Kellen knows that we're competent enough to do both. So, yeah.
You faced
Yeah. It's a bit more challenging because of that. Like, and then you got to think, like, it's not just 2 times a year. It's like a lot of the same guys on their defense have been around. They've played us like 8 times already, you know. So like they are familiar with some of the signals, the cadence, and stuff like that. So you have to have an emphasis on kind of changing things up more when you play a common opponent, like a divisional opponent. Yeah.
You faced Darius Slay several times. What are some things that stand out about his game?
He good, man. He's smart. You know, he's a smart football player. So you just got to try to be smarter. Got to do all the little things right. But it's definitely a challenge, man. And you know, you look forward to those challenges because you kind of see where you are every year. So yeah.
When you're part of an offense that's so balanced and multiple week to week, being balanced in terms of blocking and just kind of the finer aspects of the
Mm-hmm.
craft?
Yeah. It does. Yeah, like that's one thing. Um, like when I looked at film, I was really looking at how I was blocking. Like I don't usually really do that. Like you know what I mean. Like we usually watch film and we watch as receivers we watch all of our pass plays and how we were running our routes and stuff like that. But since we ran the ball so much, we ran it so well, you kind of want to contribute to that. Like when we were running the ball real well in the game, I was like, this feels good. It makes you want to block for those guys even more. So, yeah.
What's the biggest difference in CD year one and year two? Kind of display strength, maybe that's the answer. But the biggest differences you've seen?
I mean, the thing about CD, he's really like studious. Like he really wants to be a great player. And so you see him just putting in the work, the effort every day. He really cares about the way he plays. But if I had to identify a difference, yeah, play strength is one thing. Um, patience in his route running. Like last year, he'll tell you like he was kind of rushing a lot of routes. When he didn't really have to, but when you be anxious to get the ball, man, like. But like in the game, for example, like he had a shake route, and before the play, I was like patience, and he ran it real patient, and he was wide open, and he's been doing a lot of that. So.
Bro, when did you accept, that physical game is something that happens in my body every week, whether it's linked up or whether it's something I get alive for? When did that settle in for you?
It wasn't as a pro, it was in college. It was in college. I was banged up. I didn't always know how to play hurt. Just mentally. Like the pain was never the physical pain was never really a thing. It was just the mental part. Like mentally, I used to be like, dang, if I'm 100%, I'm just so much better, obviously, than when I'm hurt. And that kind of played a part in it being a mental stumbling block for me. But man, Saban, he put another guy in front of me, because I kept kind of taking myself out the game, you know what I mean? And it just messed up the continuity of everything. So now, man, I would rather play hurt than to be switching with a guy in there. So I just started playing hurt. And then what happened was I started having my best games when I was hurt. Like it was crazy. Like I'd be healthy, I'd have good games, but I'd be hurt with real pain, just fighting through it, and I'd have my best games. So from there I was like, man, maybe I need to be hurt some more. So yeah, that's how it happened.
You stub your toe, leaving the locker before game?
Nah, none of that. But that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, man. Like when you least expect something to happen, it happens. That's just how life is.
Jerry Jones said earlier in the week on 103 that you helped organize a library when you were with the Raiders to give players the space to read and work on film. What factored into your decision to do that, and have you implemented anything like that with the Cowboys?
Well, just the chessboard here, but at the Raiders, I had a book club that I started, and it was going really well. And then we would review the books and everything like that. So some of the player engagement people over at the Raiders, they were just like, hey, what's some of the best books that you've read so far? And I told them, I gave them a collection of books, and they went out and bought all of them, and then we just added them to the library. And they asked some other players about certain books that kind of helped them with stuff. And then from there, we just had a whole bunch of books. Had a whole bunch of books in the little library, and people would they'd come by and look at them like a library. So it was cool. It was actually real cool. I think it made more players start to look into books. So it was dope.
Thanks.